if you were to travel back 70 million years, you wouldn't survive 3 minutes. Not because of dinosaurs, but because of a frog. In 2008, scientists unearthed a fossil in Madagascar. After measuring its bite force, no one in the lab dared to speak, because this frog's bite delivered 220 kilograms of force, fiercer than a modern tiger. It could bite straight through your skull. Its scientific name is Beelzebub. In plain English, it means hell toad. Dinosaurs were just a snack to it. Newly hatched little dinosaurs, it ate them one by one, even crunching the bones. But what terrified scientists most wasn't its ferocity. It was that its genes haven't died out to this day. In South America, a horned frog is its direct descendant, only 10 times smaller in size. The problem is, no one can guarantee that if the climate warms up, they won't grow back to their original size. You might ask, how could a frog eat dinosaurs? The answer lies in its body structure. A normal frog's head is about 1/5 of its body, but not the devil frog. Its head takes up half of its entire body. What does that mean? It means its mouth is big enough to fit an adult Shiba Inu. Think about that image. A frog opens its mouth and stuffs a dog inside. This isn't a horror movie. This was everyday life 70 million years ago. What's even scarier is its lower jawbone. After CT scans, scientists found the devil frog's lower jaw connected to a supersized muscle group. This muscle's density is 6 times that of a normal frog. When it bites, the force isn't for catching bugs, it's for crushing bones. In 2017, a research team at Caltech conducted an experiment. Using fossil data, they 3D printed a model of the devil frog's skull, then tested its bite force. The results showed this frog's single bite could reach 2,200 newtons. What does that mean? An adult wolf's bite force is about 400 newtons. An adult tiger's is about 1,000 newtons. So the devil frog's bite is 5 times fiercer than a wolf's, and 2 times fiercer than a tiger's. A frog's bite force crushes a tiger's. Can you believe that? But this isn't even the craziest part. What really freaks paleontologists out is its hunting style. The devil frog doesn't chase prey. Its limbs are short and stout. It simply couldn't run fast. But it doesn't need to run, because it has a trick. Playing dead, it buries itself in the mud, leaving only its eyes and nostrils exposed. Its skin color is almost identical to the mud, dark brown or blue-black, perfectly blending into the swamp background. Then it just lies there, motionless, able to wait for hours or even days. Its heartbeat drops to an extremely low rate, and its body temperature also drops, almost indistinguishable from the surrounding cold-blooded animals. Any passing prey won't notice a killer hidden in the mud. When the prey approaches the water to drink, the nightmare begins. The devil frog's tongue shoots out extremely fast, hitting its target in less than 0.7 seconds. That's faster than you can blink. Its tongue is coated with mucus, 3 times stickier than that of an ordinary frog. Once snared by the tongue, the prey has no chance of escape. Then, its huge mouth snaps shut at an astonishing speed. No biting, no tearing, just a single gulp. It swallows the prey whole, bones and all. The entire process takes less than half a second. The prey doesn't even have time to scream before it's already inside the devil frog's belly. Scientists speculate that the devil frog's main prey included small dinosaurs, lizards, snakes, early mammals, and even baby crocodiles. As long as it was smaller and came near the water, it could become food. It was practically a swamp trap from the Cretaceous, a death machine hidden in the mud. Hearing this, you might be curious about just how big this thing actually was. According to fossil estimates, an adult devil frog could reach a body length of 42.5 centimeters and weigh over 4.5 kilograms. That might not sound all that impressive, but you have to remember, the largest frog alive today is the African Goliath frog, with a body length of about 32 centimeters and a weight of around 3.3 kilograms. That means the devil frog was nearly a third bigger than the biggest frog on Earth today. And the Goliath frog is a pacifist, mostly eating insects and small fish, with a gentle personality like a giant tadpole. But the devil frog was a true carnivorous beast, with a bad temper and a high level of aggression. If it were placed in a zoo today, it can definitely take on an adult hare by itself. It might even pose a threat to a small dog. Imagine this, a frog biting a dog to death. Doesn't that sound like science fiction? But 70 million years ago, this actually happened. So here's the question. Why did this terrifying creature appear in Madagascar? That brings us to continental drift 70 million years ago. Madagascar was not an isolated island. It was connected to South America, Antarctica, and the Indian subcontinent, forming a supercontinent called Gondwana. Back then, Madagascar had a tropical rainforest climate, hot and humid, with average temperatures over 10 degrees Celsius higher than today. Swamps were everywhere, rivers crisscrossed the land, making it a paradise for amphibians. It was in this environment that the devil frog evolved. Interestingly, scientists found that the DNA of the devil frog is highly similar to that of today's South American horned frog, with over 87% similarity. What does this mean? It means that before the continents split, they were once one family. Later, as plates drifted, South America and Madagascar separated. The horned frog stayed in South America, while the devil frog stayed in Madagascar. Each evolved separately, taking completely different paths. In South America, due to intense competition, the horned frog gradually shrank in size, becoming today's pet frogs. The round, cute horned frogs you see online are the distant relatives of the devil frog. Meanwhile, in Madagascar, with abundant food and few natural enemies, the devil frog grew larger, and its bite force became stronger, eventually becoming the most fearsome amphibian killer of its time. But this raises a disturbing question. If the environment changes again, could the horned frog turn back into a devil frog? The scientists' answer is, theoretically yes. In 2019, a paper published in Nature studied the genome of the horned frog. It found that the horned frog still retains the genes that control body growth, known as silent genes. These genes are normally turned off. But if the external environment undergoes drastic changes, such as a sharp rise in temperature, food resources exploded, these genes could potentially be reactivated. In other words, the blueprint of the devil frog has always been etched into the DNA of the horned frog. It's just sleeping, not gone. This reminds me of a more terrifying fact. Did you know the Earth is undergoing its 6th mass extinction? But unlike the previous 5, this extinction is caused by humans. Climate warming, habitat destruction, and environmental pollution are altering Earth's ecosystems at an unprecedented pace. In the past century, the global average temperature has risen by 1.1 degrees Celsius. It doesn't sound like much, but for ecosystems, it is a monumental change. And history tells us, every major ecological shift gives rise to a new batch of monsters. After the dinosaurs went extinct, mammals rose to prominence. After the Cretaceous mass extinction, birds took over the skies. So what about this time? If humans continue to destroy the environment, could the next dominant species be some nightmare we've never seen before? Perhaps that nightmare is hidden in the swamps of some rainforest in South America, waiting to be awakened. Back to the devil frog itself. The cause of this creature's extinction remains a mystery. Scientists speculate it may be linked to the mass extinction 66 million years ago. At that time, an asteroid about 10 kilometers in diameter struck Earth. The impact site is today's Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. The force of that impact was equivalent to the explosion of 100 trillion tons of TNT. The entire planet plunged into a multi-year nuclear winter. Volcanic eruptions, tsunamis, acid rain, global temperatures plummeted. Plants died off in massive numbers. The food chain completely collapsed. Over 75% of species on Earth disappeared. Within just a few thousand years, the dinosaurs were gone. The pterosaurs were gone. The ammonites were gone. The devil frog did not escape either. But amazingly, its genes were preserved in some way. Perhaps a small related species survived, or some genetic fragments were integrated into the DNA of other species. In any case, the devil frog's legacy continues to this day. Today, when you see those round plump horned frogs in a pet store, you might think they are cute and silly, but remember, their ancestors were hellish beasts capable of hunting dinosaurs. That ferocity and power has never truly vanished. It's just temporarily sealed by time. So, next time you see a frog, take a closer look at it, because you never know, behind those cold eyes, whether lies a demon from ancient times. 70 million years ago, it was the king of the swamp, a nightmare for dinosaurs. 70 million years later, it became a palm-sized pet, eating feed in a glass tank. But evolution never lies. Today's cuteness might just be tomorrow's terror in hiding. This is the story of the devil frog, a warning about the ancient past, about genes, about the future.